Hello there. Today we're in Worm Unlimited. I'm going to do a deed tour. It's been a while since I recorded anything, and it's been well over a year and a half since I recorded an update on the progress of my deed here on the Skotopolis server. I think that's how you say it. Uh, Currently, I have three deeds. One down the road that I'm looking kind of down, one to my left, and of course my main one, Port Durendale, which will be the subject to today's video. The other two, I might do a video on them later on. It kind of depends on my mood, recording, all that fun stuff. But enough of that. Let's kind of pan over here and start with this video. Now, there's been a lot of updates this video. Brilliant, genius, this tour. But now back to the show. There's been a lot of updates to Worm Unlimited. They've added a lot of cool stuff. Even I have been impressed, and we all know what a jaded, cynical jerk I can be sometimes. Things such as highways, which allow you to get around a little better. Being able to place items on top of tables and other pieces of furniture, different types of armor sets, different types of dyes, different types of all kinds of things. I'm struggling to remember because I didn't make any notes. And so it's been fun playing it. It's opened up parts of the game that I didn't think would ever open up to me or I'd ever be interested in, including decorating, which for a lot of you that know me from Worm Online, no, I never decorated. If anything I owned was decorated, it was done by somebody else. But anyway, the last time this wall was not here. I know that. I looked at my old video, my old deed tour. So I kind of put up this tall wall. I guess it kind of blocks people from seeing in, but really that notion is silly because this gate is unlocked. I don't even know if I put a lock on it. So anybody can come in and look at this place. So while the tall wall is maybe not to everybody's taste, I kind of enjoy it, and I'd never done it before. So when I was working up this deed over the last year, I just said, the hell with it, let's do it. Down here on the left, we'll get to it in a minute, you'll see the Durendale stable. God, I already can't talk. Maybe I should record more than once a year. Maybe that would help. I doubt it. Okay, so this is my storage. It was here last time. Probably the only thing that's changed since the last video is I did add a bunch of crate racks, which are very handy, both large and small crates. And some bulk container units. I call them BSB racks, but that's me. If you're looking for authentic terminology for Worm or Worm Unlimited, you're looking at the wrong guy. Some blacklight banners that I bought from another player. The Colossus of Venora, which was definitely not here last time. Now, the last time, if I recall right, everything over here to the left, sorry for the herky jerk, minus the pub, was dirt, and my original shop was right about where that lavender plantation is. And my mine entrance was crooked. Now there's a pinkish thing sticking out over there. We'll get to that in a little bit. But my mine was crooked, and you'd be surprised how many people would look around the deed, look at all the work I've done, and go, oh, your mine entrance is crooked. And it's like, that's what you notice. I mean, I'm kind of a rude jerk, and even I probably would not have said anything. But that's me. Part of the reason it took me a long time to change it is there used to be a building sitting right up there. And so I just didn't feel like tearing down the entire building, tearing all the dirt down to rock, and redoing it. And finally I did. This is the pub. It was here last time, including a bear trap or steel man trap. For those of you looking to get out of the door without paying your bill. Some basic decor. This is one of the newer items. It's a bar table, which I have placed booze barrels on. I've got some pineapple brandy and some rum, which were courtesy of another player by the name of Tom Servo, which I appreciate. Yeah, you can make all kinds of booze now, depending on if you've never played this game or if you haven't played it within the last couple of years. It really added a lot. I mean, for those of you that have played it, it's still worm, which is both a good thing and some days a bad thing. But there's been a lot of improvements. So, yeah, more decoration. By the way, if you're catching briefly a pink outline in the background, that would be because I forgot to turn off a mod that shows me certain types of animals and things. It's called ESP. It's completely legal on this server. I just forgot to shut it off. So this is my current shop. Nothing too fancy. I do have a rare forge, which I purchased not too long back because I got sick and tired of trying to make one. Funny story though, bought that one, finished it, was farting around one day, just for the heck of it. I used a few kilograms of rare clay and managed to roll 2 unfinished rare forges, so I sold them. I made a little bit of profit probably after what I paid for that one versus what I sold the other one to. Couple magic chests for all of my junk. Let's see. And then down here is the harbor office, which I really haven't done anything with. I don't know. Oh, port office, excuse me. Can't even remember what I name my own buildings. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. This could be one potential candidate for explosion eventually. Yeah, I'm really undecided. Shelving units, which honestly, it's where crap goes to die. Some boat parts in that storage bin, a mast, a bed that I never put where it really belongs. Let's see. And so from there, I kind of did this a little ass backwards, but we'll work our way around over here through the grass. If you're curious why so much lavender and so many lavender plantations and things, I do also tend to use flower boxes on some of my other deeds, but I really have never liked the other hedges. I've thought they all look hideous. Now, they're getting a makeover. When that'll come to Worm Unlimited, I don't know, but when it does, I will look at the other hedges, and maybe I'll change some of this up. But one of the things I like about these lavender plantations versus other types of henges, as in Stonehenge, hedges, is I can walk through them. I don't like things that can block me. So, if I want a fence, I'm going to build a fence. This is Greyfriars Abbey. It's actually replaced the building that was here that was much, much bigger and built out of slate, which for those of you that really haven't kept up with the game, this is one of the new-ish wall types. Or materials you could make it out of. So not much in here either. I really haven't gotten a plan and an idea. If Worm wanted to put in some kind of lectern or something that looked like a pulpit, then maybe I would do something about it. But for now, got some benches, some carpets, probably all stuff that was left over from other decor jobs. This building up here on the right used to be my house. I'm calling it the VIP layer now. It's kind of an interesting building in that I just was filling a space. In fact, with this deed, over almost any other I've ever made in Worm, it's been about the space and just kind of contouring and overall the general look once something is flat, where something could go. Like, I used to have a building that horseshoed this entire space up here, and I just really didn't like it. I thought I could do something different with it, but then I had a big blank empty space over here. Now, a lot of times I'll cover them with grapes or trees or fruit trees, but all my orchards and things of that nature have been moved to the other 2 deeds I own. So I just thought, well, I could put a little park kind of thing here with some horsies and with Pinky Troll. Now, Pinky Troll has a story to it. A long time ago, on the Xanadu server in Worm Online, a player by the name of Chica, who knew I didn't really like pink and didn't really like dye, decided to just unload a pinky troll onto my deed because she had the permissions. It was a funny joke, and then the statue grew on me. Now, some of you who are more into 100% accuracy will point out that this is not pink, it's more magenta ish. Well, Worms dies when the original Pinky Troll was created were not nearly as easy to manipulate as they are now, and they're still not easy, meaning to get shades and colors. So I kind of took a look at a couple screenshots I had saved from the original Pinky Troll and asked another player to mix me some dye, and this is what it came out to. And honestly, I like it a lot better than Shocking Pink. Shocking Pink would be more noticeable, but probably also hurt your eyeballs. So, but yeah, real quick, we'll go in here. Let's see. Sorry, looking at my recording timer. Some tapestries, some carpets, tin candelabras. I really like the way the tin looks. It's not as expensive to make as silver as far as mats go, as far as mounts you need. And it kind of has that just, it's a little ornate, but still a little plain. It's not gaudy. And I don't know. There's certain basic looks I go for. I don't like anything too flashy, I guess you would say. It's a minor miracle that I decorate anything. Canopy bed, chaise lounge, royal chaise lounge, a bookshelf that you can put stuff in. Maybe when we get to the final spot, I'll show you how you do the placing, which actually works really well. If you've ever played Shroud of the Avatar, I think that's the full name of it. Gary, it's the latest game. The placement is very similar to that. And as I was wandering around, it seemed like there was something. Oh yeah, I wanted to point out. That's a gold lamp. It's, oh no, I've got one up here. Good. It's a little yellowish. It's a little mustardy. It's a little bit more standoutish than I normally would do. But one thing I realized, and I felt silly that it took me this long to realize it, was, you know what? Nobody's going to notice it as they go by at 100 miles an hour on a cart, on a wagon, on foot. It's just going to look like, oh, gold lamp, and move on. So I thought, well, hell, then I like the way they look. In that context, let's just go with it. If you saw me pause, I'm a little struggling to wonder why that plain regular old iron lamp is still standing right there. I'm not sure how I missed it. Fancy new marble bridge. And idiot went too far because I was going to pop into this building real quick. This used to be my castle. It was my original castle when I really only planned on building on this east-west, take my word for it without the compass up, east-west line on the deed, and then I just kept expanding as one does. Possibly the stupidest stairway to door combo you've ever seen, but I just refused to fix it because it was one of the first spiral staircases I ever built. There isn't a lick of decoration in any of this. I think eventually I'll throw in a bunch of beds and, weapon racks and that kind of crap. Now, you caught a glimpse of one of the last things I want to show you. And when I originally conceived of this idea, I had no intention of it going this far. But then another player on this server by the name of St. Doug kept dropping bodies, embalmed corpses on my deed. These are all champion Scorps, Hell Scorps. And so they take up a lot of space. And when somebody gives me something, even if it's meant in jest, even if it's meant as a joke, I have a real hard time throwing it away or getting rid of it. And so I took it as a challenge to find a place to put it. Because before they were here, and the building we'll see in a minute up on the hill, they were all down there. They were lined up on the wall, they were lined up on the floor, and they were just looking crowded, and they were kind of detracting from that building. So I originally had planned on just building this arched tier building, and kind of where I got my inspiration was the Native American or some Native American tribes custom of placing their dead on wooden platforms. I don't remember the exact reasoning for that type of burial. It was a lot of the Plains Native Americans, but I recall at the very least that it was so their spirit could roam the wilds again or something along those lines. I know I'm getting this all wrong, and somebody will very nastily either accuse me of a cultural appropriation or correct me if I'm wrong, or correct me on how I'm wrong. Anyway, I kind of took that concept and thought, champion creatures. They have a special place in Worms, so I'm going to build them a special mausoleum, if you will. I'm kind of hesitating and stumbling here because normally champion creatures are supposed to be real difficult to kill, and some of these are. But after you get to a certain fight skill, they're not so difficult. Yeah, champion crab. That's a ghost of Tom Servo. That's a seal. Don't ask me why. Wolf, and we got a little bit of everything in here, and then I just kept adding it up, and as you see, there's more Hellscorps, and I've got even more of them down there I don't know what to do with. I think of all the regular creatures in Worm, the only thing I'm missing is a champion crocodile. And apparently some people like breeding those to pull carts and wagons, so that may be why I've never found one in the wilds. Now, I didn't kill all these myself. The Hellscorps, a lot of them were the player St. Doug. The champion spiders, the lava spiders that you can just see up there, the next tier up, these guys. Yeah, see, there's a St. Doug. That's one of my alts. That's Tom Servo. Yeah, a lot of these aren't named. Oh, that one's mine. Wow, I was on the ball that day. Named it and put a date on it. That one's mine. Apparently, Mr. Doug picked these up at Drop Deeds because I don't know anybody named Patrick. But yeah, it was a cool space at the top of the hill. This used to be my orchard and some cow pens, and I moved them, or animal pens. And I decided, I'm going to do this. I suppose it probably kind of overshadows what is now my castle a little bit, but I don't know. It just turned out cool. It's one of the few things that I'm truly impressed with. Is it kind of creepy and kind of a weird thing to do? Yeah, I guess it's got that element too, but I'm a weird dude, so there you go. And finally, no, not finally, because I will let you in on a little inside baseball here. I recorded this yesterday, and I screwed up with OBS Studio because I hadn't used it in a year and a half, and yeah, the audio was shit. I mean, my audio is usually shit because I don't have a $4,000 microphone and a $5,000 mixer that I don't want to go into debt for. But it was even too shit for me to save. So, this building yesterday, I forgot to record it, and I recorded it, and I almost forgot today. So we'll go in here real quick. Now you'll notice this is called the Decor Depot. When I came to this server, I decided I wasn't going to build too much, and for various reasons. And so a lot of Drop Deeds had a lot of furniture and had a lot of other bits and pieces I never wanted to build or never thought I'd have the skill to build. Turns out that's not exactly the case, and usually if you're lazy like me, when you get to a dropped or disbanded deed to loot, all the good stuff, good beds, that kind of stuff is gone. But yet I did hang on to a lot of stuff, and it used to be down in the port building, it used to be in my shop, it used to be in storage, and it was just getting to be too much of a mess. And so this once was a cafe, I think is what I called it. Yeah, the We Angry Warriors Cafe, which two people are going to get that in joke. And I'm not going to explain it. And so then I just started dropping all kinds of crap that I didn't know what to do with. Like this nymph statue I made one too many of. These two horses that I'm still not sure where the hell they're going. These gold lamps I still haven't had time to put out. These carpets that will give you epilepsy. We got a chaise lounge back there. We got some coffins. We got one too many food storage bins. A couple larders for keeping food cold, a couple ovens, 3 ovens. A lot of this stuff I should really just go drop back in the wilds for somebody else to take. Believe it or not, I've used a lot of this stuff though, and I've used a lot of it in this building, which is my castle. And it's not the most massive castle you're ever gonna see in Worm. It's not the tallest, it's not the biggest. I wanted something that took up a space. Again, it was a space thing, and I couldn't plan this whole entire space, which encompasses from that stone wall to that stone wall, and then from that stone wall to that stone wall. I didn't have enough carpentry skill to plan a building that big. I ran into this problem on my deed on Xanadu and Worm Online. I broke a guy that I think had 97 or 98 carpentry. That time, I was kind of upset that I couldn't plan what I wanted to plan. This time, my attitude is a lot different in that if you can't do it one way, well then plan what you can and do it another way. I mean, this is probably the first time in my Worm career I've found a use for roses, and I kind of like the way they look. Now, they look a little shitty because it is fall on this server, but I mean, I never thought I'd see a day where I'd use rose bushes for anything other than gathering sprouts for somebody else who wanted them. Now, the dirty little secret here is that part of the reason I planted those is, they look alright, but also I was tired of chopping down the trees that kept growing up in the damn grass spots. So I came in the wrong stinking door. I can tell. I always try to do my Worm videos with less cursing, for those of you that know me and know I curse like a sailor. But as I'm getting toward the end of the video and I'm kind of wearing out from all this talking, and trying not to squeak my chair and trying not to make too much noise, I'm losing it, people, is what I'm saying. And this video is this recording is already at 22 minutes. The YouTube gods may not allow it to be uploaded because it's over 10 and under. I fucked up the joke. Oh well. Anyway, I wanted a castle, but I wanted something that I could kind of turn into my house with maybe a little bit of spare room for lug nuts to come over. And nobody's ever going to stay here. People can travel back to their own deeds rather fast these days, so it's not like you have a lot of visitors. But still, you roleplay a little bit, you RP a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. Anyway, and also, because I have just enough ego, I made a throne room. Now, there's going to be 2 or 3 players, if they ever see this video, 2 or 3 players from Worm Online. I made the bulk of this stuff. I even made the die for those Oakenwood Royal Chaise Lounges. I made the die by just continually mixing shit until I found a shade I liked, but I made the tapestries, I made these cool little stands. Again, it's probably a little too much of the same thing over and over again, and all the candelabras is probably a little bright in here. But once I finished placing everything, I just loved it. I really loved it. And so then you go this way, and we have nothing yet. Oh yeah, we have a square table that I made a long time ago, or I looted, and just wanted to get it out of the Decor Depot. And now we'll climb up here. The other problem I had yesterday when I was recording a video is I just turned the UI off completely. And that makes viewing things and climbing in this game, because it's a lot of right-clicking, damn near impossible. Oh yeah, fireplace, didn't make those, looted them. They could really use to fix the bug where they're, when you go to snuff them so they don't come on at night, they come on anyway. So, real quick, since I'm here, oh, by the way, I'm also not on the character that owns this deed. He is currently a long way from here, doing some building projects for somebody else, and I thought, hell, I don't need to bring him back, I've got 2 other characters here. So, I'm going to show you how to place. First, I'm going to take it. It gave me the place option. So, this is a ruby. I'm going to go to drop, which is normally how you do, and tell it place. And hey, look, this one's a bad example. I'll do another one when I get in the other room. But you just kind of screwed it around and can't put it there, and then boom. And there's a message that'll tell you when you're too far away to place, which, as always with Worm, I don't know how they expect us to place certain items while standing with it in our face, and you can't see if it's symmetrical, you can't see if it's straight. So placement could use a wider range to be able to place things. Placing some of those Hell Scorpion corpses was a nightmare. It's a good thing I'm not worried about surprising you three viewers with any of this, because I just walked into the final room, my bedroom. Yeah, just got some balconies out here. I might throw some chairs out here, or ballistas, or God knows. But yeah, this is my bedroom, and I 100% decorated this. I made the bulk of everything. Got a little bit of booze for those long nights. I've got a dog who is sleeping, unless you read that text really closely. The embalming mechanic again. I could see how people could see it as creepy, but the dog looks like he's asleep on the table, under the table. This is one of the bookshelves that you can place stuff on with stuff placed on it. Some of this stuff was gifts from players. Some of it's stuff I won, and some of it was gifts for volunteering, I guess. I don't know. I won that at a raffle. It's a rare hammer. I think you can see the shiny. Can you see it? Yeah, there you go. See? It shines. The coins should shine too, but the light and the wood texture. But yeah, the rare stuff does shine. I love that little hammer. The player that made that also gave me a lot of advice on things I should do in this space, and I really like it. And so we got a lounge, a few mugs. Let me see if the book actually shows. I'll take this archaeology journal. Let's do place and see if it actually shows it as green this time. Yeah, so that's what it'll say when you can place something, and then there we go. You can't place it over there. And you can kind of do that, and I'm scrolling my mouse wheel to turn it. They don't stand up. Whatever the model's default position, laying down or standing, is how it stays. Worm needed to add something like this for eons. Now, not a lot of games do, actually. And I'm walking over here because I'll show you what I mean by how the model is by default. Now, that book was just in a bookshelf standing up. Now watch. I'm going to go to place it here, and it's still standing up. I can go to place it again, and if I rotate it, it just rotates on its axis. So they could make it so that you could lay it down. Worm sometimes isn't the most robust game engine ever, so you kind of should be just happy that they're placing stuff. But even as a dude, even as somebody who sometimes thinks decorating and all that stuff is a little bit ridiculous, but still enjoys doing it, that makes the concept that much more fun. Just being able to do that. So, yeah, this is my deed. I'm going to walk out here for an exit shot. You can't see as much from these tall walls. But a lot has changed in a year and a half. If you think I'm kidding, go watch the previous Port Durendale video. That was shot in 2017, so I had been on this server about a year when I shot that one. And I will have been on this server 2 years here in, I think, a week or two. I'd have to go look. Yeah, anyway, this is my Worm Unlimited deed. And so until next time, see you, people.